So we have Dr. H's iPod running down stage, and it's plugged into the stage rack channels 1 and 2, 1 for left, 2 for right. And really, the only thing it's going to be doing is emulating a musician or a microphone or anything on stage that's actually sending us audio to the console through the snake. So everything that comes out of the Whirlwind snake immediately, unless anything's been patched, our patch bay is clear, there's nothing happening there. We don't have any special settings on the console. In fact, the entire thing is zeroed. Everything's down. The EQ's flat. My gain's flat. We should immediately, by default, receive any sort of signal from that split snake directly on channels 1 through 24, 1 to 1, meaning input on the snake goes to channel 1, or input 1 on the snake goes to channel 1, input 2 goes to channel 2, input 3 goes to channel 3, and so on all the way through 24. So the first thing I'm going to do is set the microphone preamp gain accordingly. Now, things get a little bit convoluted here in a second, but for right now we just want to make sure we're receiving signal properly, so I can reach up to the purple knob on the top and make sure that we are receiving gain. Now, immediately we've run into a problem. As I turn the gain up, I really don't have any way of knowing how much signal I'm getting, and that's because, remember, our meter bridge is post fader. So before we set the gain, let's go ahead and set the faders on the channels that we're looking to set the gain on to unity or to 0. And immediately you'll see that we have signal, and that's actually with our gain all the way down. So I'm going to head and compensate, and I think it's because I have a bad cable that one side is lower than the other. And we're still not hearing any signal. So we have signal, we're receiving signal, but we need to hear it. So in order to hear it, we have to assign it to the left-right, or the master bus. On the bottom section of the console, in the fader area, we have our channel assignment buttons. And they range from left, right, and then it's labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to send them to our stereo groups over here. We're going to send them to the left-right bus, just directly. Now they're assigned to the left-right bus, but you don't have any signal. So on the right-hand side of the console, you're going to want to reach for your blue master fader. Go ahead and turn that up to 0. And now you're listening through the console. Now you need to make sure that your the volume on your PreSonus Central Station monitor controller is set accordingly as well. So in our case, someone had already turned this up. It was me. And if it was down all the way, you would follow all those steps, turn the master fader up, and still not be able to hear anything. The only other thing you need to be aware of is on the central station, you need to make sure that you're set to input select TRS1, and that's analog input for the central station monitor controller. You're also going to want to make sure that the main monitor output on the Toft console is set to all the way up as well. So there's a monitor level button. You're going to want to make sure that that's all the way up, and that's actually controlling the level it sends to the central station. So then at this point, we can pan them accordingly. We can pan the right side to the right side, the left side
so
to
now
the left side.
we're going to be hearing a stereo mix.
That's correct.
Basically before it was mono.
That's correct.
Right.
Yes, before we were getting both sides, but they were panned, and you'll notice that when I hit the mono button on the central station, you're not hearing any change whatsoever.
Okay.
Because this is just taking stereo and folding it into mono. But if we pan it out first, and then I hit the mono button, you'll see it's going to fold into the center, and you're going to lose that stereo width.